I just got back from a Christian comedy show, and the headliner was Kev on stage. If you know him, he's amazing. He's funny. If you don't know him, look him up. He's Christian, and he's just a hilarious dude, right? Regardless if you are a believer or not, he's hilarious. And before we went, like a couple of days ago, he made this video, and it stuck with me. And it's really been speaking to me, especially in where I am right now in my life. And the full takeaway of the message was just keep going. I've been watching his content since probably like maybe 8th or 9th grade. And he has elevated from just like making YouTube videos to now having his own app, to now doing full production things, to creating his own shows. And so much so that BET bought one of his shows. And even him just saying like he's been through all these different things, all these good things, and in this moment he was able to make a video just being like, he's nobody that just is becoming somebody simply because he started, simply because he was willing to be himself. He was willing to go all in on him. And if not anything, this message has been sticking with me this entire year and a little bit of last year too. And it's understanding that perfection prevents progression. Perfection prevents progression. Don't worry about trying to be perfect. Just be you. And when you give yourself the permission to just be you, I mean, you also give everybody else the permission to be themselves around you. If not fully, at least around you. Hundreds of people were in there, and he's performing. He's on tour right now. He's performing at different churches. And it's just amazing to see just a whole room full of people just laughing and being able to praise the Lord in the mix of it all, and him just talking about his background as a back pew, that's like the tour name, but him just being a church kid, growing up in church. He said he's 41 years old, but he's been going to church for 52 years, right? It is those kind of things that just make people just want to be around you. But it's not to say try to be like him or try to be like anybody else like that, but it's more to say like be like you. Like even his message was to just be you, and be you fully, be you unapologetically, just be who you are. Don't worry about trying to be perfect. Don't worry about trying to have this perfect persona or try to say the perfect words. You're not perfect. You're an imperfect being, and that's what makes you relatable. Spread your message. Press record. Start the class. Take the test. Create the business. Or just start realizing that it takes you. Realize that regardless of who you are, regardless of where you come from, no matter the big or small upbringing you have, that the world needs you if you're willing to stop dimming your light. If you're willing to let your light so shine. Man, that's such a good verse from Matthew 5:16. To let your light so shine that men who see it give the glory to your Father in heaven. If I can flip to it really quickly. Because I feel like that's the thing that a lot of us just need to give ourselves the opportunity to. It says, can I read it from 14 to 16? It says, you are the light of the world, a city that is set on a hill and cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. You just being you is a light for the world. You already are that if you choose to be it or not. It's just you get to decide if you're going to hide your light and try to dim it away, or if you're going to let your light so shine so that people who see what you do give all the glory to your Father in heaven. You need to start living your life, and you need to start just being you, because that's all you're meant to be, is yourself. But it's not until you realize that that's not an insult. It's not until you realize that you are good enough. You are worthy enough. You're worth it. And normally I try to stay neutral, right? Give you the opportunity to choose the path, because I can't walk it for you. But today, seeing him on stage, seeing Kev on stage, right? For the first time ever, just makes it all go full circle. Where I remember when he just had a YouTube channel and nobody really knew who he was, to now he has like multi-million followers, huge platform, all these different things, but he still is who he is. He's still, and it doesn't even matter, right? That's the, like, yes, that's important. Stay true to who you are, but I think the biggest thing is believing that you can be more. Believing that where you are is just where you are. It's where you are right now. It's not where you're gonna always be. It's giving yourself grace and acceptance that you're amazing in this space too. You're amazing where you are right now too. And if you can't appreciate where you are now, then it doesn't matter how far you go. You'll still think that you're not worthy of even where you are. So give yourself the affirmation, give yourself the validity, give yourself what you need here and now, because when you are able to give yourself what you need now, it's easy to take the next step. I'm speaking not only out of testimony for his life, but also for mine. That the more I'm willing to accept where I am now and say that I am good here too, I'm very good here too, not just where I'm going, not just the future version of myself, but who I am today is good. And not because I'm living in reference of where I used to be, but just because I was good then too. I was good in the past, I'm good now, and I'll be good then. Realizing that I just live a good life. It is not because I have everything that I ever asked for. It's not because I'm rich, or it's not because I have all these possessions, but it's because God created me, and when he looked at me, he said, very good. And that he created me in his image. And if we call God good, then that must mean we are too. So if you are good, it doesn't matter what anybody else says to you. You get to say and you get to claim that you are, because he said that I am. And when you forget who you are, don't forget whose you are. When you forget where you're supposed to go, just remember who's leading you. And most importantly, I think for this message is remember, if it focuses, remember that perfection prevents progression. So don't worry about trying to be perfect, because truth of the matter is, perfect never gets done. Done is better than perfect, because perfect never gets done. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to be you. Yeah. Just got back from it. I just knew I had to get that message because it was just sitting in my heart. It's just so amazing just to see people. And I pray and I hope and I pray that when you see other people succeeding, that you don't have an envious or a jealous spirit. Like, I know even if you don't act in that way, like you don't act according to it, I hope in your heart that you don't even have it, because I used to see people succeeding in places where I feel like I should be succeeding. Or I used to see people growing faster than I was growing, and I'm working hard. I'm like, what? How is this happening? And I don't have any hate for that person, but you get a little jealous. But right now I'm praying that it's stripped away from you, that your heart posture is now is set good, knowing that you're going to get everything that's meant for you. And when I was in that space, obviously I wanted to be there, right? I paid to be there, but I'm rejoicing in it. I'm rejoicing knowing that blessings are in the room. I'm rejoicing of looking at where he used to be. I used to watch him when I was like 14 years old. And now coming almost a whole, dang near a decade later, I get to actually experience it and be in the room with him. And it's amazing how it ended up being a church. I'm getting in the room. Oh man, God is always in the details. And so it's amazing how he can bring it home and how you can use the gift to glorify him, and it can take you far places. He's going on tour, going to different churches. God is in the details. See, that might not make it so much sense to you, but realize that if he can do it for him, he can do it for you. Because Kevin ain't special, but what he is who he is. It just takes you to realize that being who you are isn't a bad thing. Being who you are isn't a disadvantage, but it is your advantage. And he just posted another video. I love him. He's a great person. He's a great person to get into. He says, don't focus on trying to strengthen your weaknesses. Just strengthen your strengths. Like, I know a lot of times we're like, okay, I'm good at this, but let me put this off to the side so I can focus on. Take it from a man who's finding some success while still giving all the glory to God. It being him. Now take it from somebody else who's living it right now. Just step into where you already are comfortable. Step into where you already are fearless. Step into where you already have your gifts put into it. And then realize that this right here is exactly where you're meant to be. And then stepping into it fully. Like your weaknesses, yes, you can get better at those at any point, any time. That's why God doesn't need you to be perfect. He doesn't need you to clean yourself up to come to him. He just wants you as you are. So does your gifts in that regard. Okay. I said what I needed to say. I love y'all so much. I appreciate every comment, every like. Y'all let me know if these videos are helping y'all. I know they're helping me, so I just want to make sure that they're not falling on deaf ears. And yeah, glory be to God. He deserves it all. He's so good. And even if you don't know him, get to know him. Because if you don't believe him today, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.